Is this your first time in Sundance?
No, I was here in '96 with a movie called Love Walked In, and I was here in '98 with Monument Ave. So this is my third time back.
Is the place changing?
From '96 it has. It's definitely, there's a lot more houses and lodges and hotels, like new buildings and stuff. And when I first came, I guess it was '96, I went to see a couple of films and they were projected on white walls with the projector in the middle of the room. I think that's kind of changed. But it's not a bad thing, because now they have that great theater that we debuted in last night, which has got a fabulous sound system and fabulous audience seats. It's just great. So I mean, as a producer and actor, I much prefer the beautiful room to the room with the little projector in the middle. So.
Well, some people are going around saying that what a shame that it has changed. It's become so mainstream. Do you share in any of that?
Well, I think, yeah, it's definitely become more mainstream with the money and everything. That's just, I guess, the nature of the beast. But there's still plenty of, off the beaten track fare you can find here. So it's just a question of looking and getting the right times out of the catalog and, making sure you show up and get your tickets and all that stuff, But, I mean, I think it's a good thing because it brings bigger names and slightly bigger films. But, part of the fun of this thing is that you're getting the word of mouth about your film out into the press and into the general public long before you're released in the theaters, which is kind of really necessary for films that are costing $6 million and below, because right now, the way the film world is set up, it's an $80 million budget, which is going to be advertised all over the place, and then these small little tiny films that people need to hear about, because you can't afford the advertising that the $80 million guys can. So if you can get into the magazines or you can get the word out on Bravo, whatever, people can be aware of your film,
So your job really is to promote the film.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have come otherwise, because you're expected to show up and do your job. Walk the red carpet, talk it up a little bit, and actually, this for me was an interesting one, because I was working and so busy the last year that I never saw this film. In the few test screenings that we had in New York, I never saw it with an audience. So for me and Elizabeth last night, walking in, sitting down, was the first time we'd seen the film all put together, and which was kind of nerve-wracking, with 1,200 people surrounding you who were also seeing it for the first time. So it was really an interesting experience last night.
What did you think?
Well, there was parts, because normally for any actor, you're looking at certain scenes, you're going, I should have done this different. You're also thinking, my nose looks huge in that shot. That's the kind of stuff you're thinking about. But at the same time, there's times that you get engaged in the film and you're laughing along with the audience. There's other points where you're not able to laugh because you're waiting to see what's going to happen, to see whether they laugh or not. So it's really bizarre, It was great, though. It was really a great experience. I wish I could do that with every film that I make, that that I'm involved with as a producer. Like just going for the first time and see it with 1,200 people in a beautiful screening room, but that would be insanity.
Now, you and Elizabeth have made a couple of films together now.
Yes.
Is it a group of films that you yourself are producing, or?
No, I co-produced this one with Tom, Double Whammy, and she also did a guest starring role that I wrote for her in my television show, which is coming up in March. And the other one was just, it was a job that was a script that was sent to us that we liked, and we said, well, what the hell, let's try it, which is a completely different character for her, as was this role in Double Whammy, something that she's never done before. I think people will be really surprised. And she does a great job in it as well, so.
I go to a chiropractor every couple of weeks, but it's never...
Yeah. It's never Elizabeth Hurley. I know. I used to go to the chiropractor quite a bit when my back was bad. It was never Elizabeth Hurley. Most of the time it was a guy, actually, so hey, it's the movies, man.
What I liked about this movie was such a New York film,
Yeah.
Buscemi and Guzman, and
Yeah, and the locations are great, and yeah, it's really a Manhattan feel to it, But that's Tom, everything he writes is basically set in Manhattan. He's got his own take on the city. Yeah, for me it was great. I loved it because I love when I shoot in New York, because that's where I live. If I could shoot everything in New York, I'd be the happiest guy on the planet.
So the film works on many levels. What do you think? What are the main themes there in the film?
Well, I mean, the main theme, I guess, is sort of following my character through one of the worst sections of his life. He's screwed up at work, and he's hurt his back, and his love life is a mess, and his partner, they're homicide detectives, basically, is what they are, and his partner all of a sudden is having a sexual crisis and thinks he's gay and thinks he's in love with me, and I'm trying to handle that. So it's, I mean, I think it's really following his journey, but within that is there's a lot of different stuff about relationships and commitment and all that stuff. I think Buscemi's hilarious. I think he's great. I love when he gives me a hug every once in a while in the movie, and I'm just kind of freaked out by it 'cause I know he's in love with me. So, and I think it's really funny that he sends me to see Elizabeth, and you know, he doesn't think she's attractive. It's like, I mean, he's definitely gay at that point. You know what I mean? So,
You know, there's a killer killing scene.
yeah. Again, I mean, that's Tom. You know. It was written that way. It was one of the things I loved about the script when I first read it. I thought, you know, this is a really funny murder scene, you know, and it came off. I thought it came off great.
So you work with him again?
Yeah, I love Tom. I would work. Tom's one of those guys. He just calls me up. I literally, I mean, I have a very few guys like that on my list where he just calls me. I just say, yeah, I'm in. You know, so hopefully, I don't know what I'll do in the next one, but you know, even if it was a cameo, I'd show up and do it.